Preparing for a route like London Wall has always been really important to me because it's such a great route and I love it so much. I always knew that the time when I would go and solo it would be when it feels totally right. There's no fear, there's no doubts, and the experience would be way better than anything else, and I had to wait for the right moment to do that. I put my shoes on at the base of the route and I think about that everything in terms of the climbing is prepared. My feet are clean, my hands are chalked up, I feel relatively fresh, and now I can just think about one of the best routes that I know of out there and getting from bottom to top and savouring every single moment of it. The first part of the route is this quite steep, thin, peg-scarred crack where you're mostly on the front two fingers, and it's quite powerful. Any mistakes with your feet mean that you fall off very quickly on this section, so it starts you off really well. Once I start climbing, kind of everything else in life just melts away, and all I think about is how much I'm enjoying myself and how sublime the movement and the climbing is. And you make these moves up the initial crack at the start and you're concentrating 100% on what you're doing, and this feels so good. When I arrive in this middle section of the route, I have to be really careful to keep 100% focused on the climbing, because whilst it becomes a little less physical, it's still very technical and the footholds are quite small. So I know that even when I've climbed this with a rope in this section, is that it's not that easy and you can't stray at all from your concentration, otherwise mistakes just lead to your feet skating and the climbing gets really dangerous again. As I set off from the 3/4 rest point and into the final crux sequence on the crack, I have to climb really decisively again. It's here that when you're leading it with a rope, you tend to fall due to being too tired or not having enough power. There's no room for error at all when soloing. The footholds and handholds are particularly poor, so it's really about being positive and focusing on each movement being absolutely perfect. Two meters from the top of the route, and it's here that there's just one move where I'm never 100% certain about it, and you have to pull on one marginal finger lock.
And a little bit you have to be careful with.
And I make that move, and you kind of wonder how you were ever doubting it in the first place anyway, and then you just enjoy the last couple of moves, reaching over to the top, and it's just brilliant. I wish I could do this every day of the week. I enjoy it so much. One of the things that's probably the greatest shame about soloing, and especially on the longer and harder routes, is that if you think about it objectively, it does get dangerous over time, and I suppose the real shame is that I can't spend 100% of my time climbing in this style.